I'm going to make some white Vervain tincture here. I've already started. I'll be cutting up all this stuff, but I went ahead and I just cut all of this off of the larger, harder pieces of the stem. I'm just going to give it a coarse, rough chop. I'll either add in this video what white vervain looks like and how to identify it in the wild, but if I don't add that to this video, then I'll just make another video on it. So if you want to know what it looks like and how to find it, just look for that video. So I may have to go out and get some more. We'll see. So I'm just putting this, what I chopped up, into a pint jar. And that amount was only about a third full, so I think I'm going to go out and get some more. This is the plant that what I just chopped came off of. You can see that that's where some of it came off of. This was just a volunteer. It just showed up in my little pot here. But I'll take you over to another one and I'll harvest from the other one. Here's another volunteer white vervain. I'll list its Latin or botanical name here on the screen. But it has a square or a four-angled stem. Which I'll show you later, but when you cut the stem is hollow. It has opposite branches, opposite leaf stems here. There is a leaf. Here, let me get this. Okay. So coming out of where the stem and the leaf meet, it branches off. Sorry, the chickens are distracting me. It branches off, and it has these flower heads here. Don't know how well you can see that, but the white vervain, it's called white because the flowers are white. Now, the flowers, they don't, like this whole thing here, this is all one big flower head, but each of these little buds is an individual flower. But the whole stem of the flower, it does not flower all at the same time. It just flowers here and there, okay? All right, so you go ahead and you harvest it when it's flowering like this. You use the leaves, the flowers. You can use some of the stems. I personally am not a stem fan. You can also use the root. Just really depends on what you want it for. Now when this plant is younger, before it's all full like this and mature, it actually looks like stinging nettles. And that's where it gets its species name of urticaria, I believe is how you pronounce it. But you'll know that it's not because it's not stingy. There's no stinging hairs or anything. Now the Now the leaves, they are rough. You can hear that. And they are serrated around the edges, just like a stinging nettle would be, except not as much. This is what the underside looks like. The stem is hairy. It's a very sturdy plant, so to speak. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Now there's also blue vervain, and the flowers will be blue, blue-purple. There's also European vervain. But anyway, yeah, that's what this looks like. Okay, so I got the rest of that all chopped up and put in here. Now I'm just going to cover with some vodka. This is 80 proof, 40% vodka. And I'm sure you'll come across sources saying for fresh plant matter, you need to use 95% alcohol, which is a grain alcohol. Do what you want, but this works just fine as well. So you just want to mix that in there and make sure that the plant matter stays below the alcohol level. Oh, I meant to show you the square, the hollow stem. See? It's a hollow stem. and it is quite fuzzy. If I can get the camera to focus. I can't get it to focus. Okay, well, I'll insert some photos since I can't seem to get it to focus. And also, as the plant itself ages or is in a lot of full sun, like this one was that you saw me harvest from, the lower part of the stem and some of the leaves, they can get tinged with purple. Just so you're aware of that. Okay, so you just want to put a lid on it and shake it real good. And after shaking it, you'll want to remove the lid and push it back down to see if you need to add any more alcohol. You just want to make sure, again, that all of that plant matter is below the alcohol. Now, you can chop this up more finely if you want. You could put it in a food processor and, blend it down quite a bit more if you want. All of my tinctures, I always let them go about 8 weeks before I use them. But if I really, really need them, usually I can use them at 4 weeks. But I really try not to even touch them for 8 weeks. And some I have had for years and still have never had a need for it. So they're fine. And but anyway, what you want to do, obviously, is label this. But you also want to shake it each day. But what you want to do is also open it each day after shaking it and make sure that the plant matter is below the alcohol level. And do that every day for a couple weeks. And then after that, you can just kind of let it sit and, steep, let it do its thing for, 8 weeks or so. And after the 8 weeks, whenever your tincture is ready, you can go ahead and you can strain out the plant matter if you want, or you can just leave it in there. I have some that are a few years old and the plant matter is still in there. So the only reason you might really want to take the plant matter out is if it's in there for several years. The plant matter over time will eventually break down and kind of become all nasty and mushy and that kind of stuff. That doesn't make the tincture bad. It just, just kind of looks bad. But anyway, do what you want to do. But this is just a simpler method, a folk method of making a tincture. Okay, so you can see that I labeled it here, white Vervain tincture. I use the fresh aerial parts of Verbena urticafolia. I use 40% alcohol. I put today's date, and I put that I use the folk method.